Hey, I'm your game master, Dave Moss. We are going to be playing Daggerheart together, and we're just going to dive right in because that took 20 minutes to figure out how to get our camera working. So, welcome. These are the stories found in the archives of Elsewhere. The world was once loud with divinity. Gods walked like storms across the land, radiant and terrible. Not one god, but many, petty and proud and hungry for worship. They warred through mortal champions. Cities rose and fell beneath their shadows. The skies wept fire, the seas rebelled, and the people of Vel endured. Amidst the chaos, 6 rose, not gods, not monsters, but mortals, flawed, bleeding, and fierce, the Circle of Dawn. A shield against oblivion, a torch in the dark. They did not fight for crowns or for temples, they fought to save lives. And for a time, they won. Where the gods raged, the circle healed. Where empires crumbled, they built safe havens. Their names were whispered in every tongue. Children carved their sigils into door frames for protection. But no light lasts forever. It began with a voice, gentle, golden, and unseen. The voice in amber, also called the Pactborn, the Steward of Silence, the first guide. It did not descend like a god, but rose like a promise. It spoke of peace, not conquest, unity, not dominion, and it asked for only one price: silence. The circle saw the danger, but the world was tired. It was easier to kneel than to burn. One by one, the 6 were broken, betrayed, shamed, forgotten, remembered now as rebels to the voice, renamed the Emberfell 6. The gods were silenced, magic was collared, history rewritten. And from that silence, an empire bloomed, the Accord of Vel. A world no longer torn apart by faith or by flame, ruled by the Accord, a triumvirate of sacred bureaucracy, might, and obedience. The Synod, keepers of belief who shape history and memory alike. The Carnifex, enforcers of peace through discipline, silence, and steel. The Volari, veiled thought guides and secret watchers who guard the truth with black blades and dreams. In the capital of Velzaroon, amber-veined towers scrape the sky. Its boulevards are clean. Its people are content, docile. Its skies are always clear. Children wear the chains of compliance like jewelry. Art sings only of the voice, and no one speaks of what was lost. Across the land, the Accord rules as a benevolent tyrant. Most live safely as long as they obey, if they believe, if they forget. But not all forget. In the quiet spaces between cities, in back rooms and ruins, the truth stirs. Whispers bloom in chalk on alley walls, candles are lit on forbidden altars, blood spills in anger of what was forgotten. And in the dark, some are speaking a name that spreads like sparks before wildfire. They whisper of Emberlings. In the towns and cities all across Vel, masked faces watch every step. The Synod scribes gather records on every family. The Carnifex patrols march in perfect silence. The Volari adherents praise children for their obedience, and the brightest among them disappear, taken in a quiet harvest. A ritual no one speaks of, yet all understand as the price of peace. To the north of the capital city, it is a perfect peace. Beyond the walls, beyond the farms, the world exhales. The mountains rise. Veiled in mist and old names, snow still clings to their spines, though summer rules the valleys below, and then a wind stirs. It begins as a whisper between the crags, then gathers. A breath-given form winding downwards, faster now, and it sweeps along the ridgelines, rustling ancient pines, skimming the surface of a mirror lake, shattering reflections into ripples. It dives down gorges, trailing birds startled into flight, catches the edge of a waterfall, and plummets. A valley cradled between mountain spires, verdant, untouched, and holy. And there in the crook of ancient peaks, the standing stones of the Veil of Binding. Worn smooth by centuries of wind and reverence, each one etched with the glyphs so old they hum more than shine. In their center, a broken altar, its cracked face bearing the scars of silence. And around them a gathering. Nearly 100 souls come not to worship, but to remember. A wind drifts through the crowd, faces upturned, cloaks tugged by the breeze, a sea of grief and respect in every color and shape the world can offer. Simia, Qatari, Galapa, Fungro, humans, Dracona, elves, dwarves, halflings, all weathered pilgrims, young acolytes, curious strangers, ancient warriors, all gathered for one reason, to say farewell to Imran Ulat, the Dawn Seeker. Once the voice of a scattered people, a prophet, a guide, a spark that flickered when darkness rose. Once hailed, then shunned, and now laid in silence atop a broken altar to the old gods they once fought. The wind stills. A fire is not yet lit, and those who once walked in his light now gather in the shadow left in his wake. And as the wind whips through the crowds, it touches 4 unique individuals. Tyler, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself, describe your character Callum to us, and I also wouldn't mind if you could describe Callum's journey and how he came to be in this place.
Sure. I'm Tyler. I'll be playing Callum Price. And Callum's a bit of a big boy. He's 6'5", about 260 pounds, and he's broad. He's a man that's not afraid to get his hands dirty and take a couple hits on the way. He's an older brother to Gil here, and the last 3 months for Cal have been a blur. They are a story of reuniting with his brother that he thought was dead, and old faces also thought were gone, that a lot of reconnection over the last few months. But anyways, Cal's got from his neck down to about his waist. He was cleaved in half at one point, and he was remade with stone and wood that is organic and moving, and breathes with him when he breathes. So he's quite visibly different. He's got a halo in his left eye, a light glint circle. He is a seraph with a divine axe that he wields to protect his friends and those close to him. Gil, if you'd like to explain my younger brother.
Hi, I'm Gil. Or Gilligan Price, no one actually calls me that. I too have been in a bit of a blur the past few months. I was in the middle of a pretty intense 3-year scheme in order to set up my own religion in the city before my brother here decided to just ruin the whole thing. Fortunately, we had more important tasks at hand. He's helped me track down an individual by the name of the Grey Man, or that's all I know him by. Gilligan is not a small fellow, he's Cal's brother, so stands at about 6'1", but he doesn't have the same brawn. He's a bit of a gangly fellow. He's half human and half Qatari, so despite not having too many feline features, he does have some cat's claws, not enough to always keeps it well dressed. Make sure he's got his nice coat on, double breasted, of course. Can't see it any other way. Beautiful top hat. Instead of a ribbon going around the outside, it's actually just a number of different pieces of thread that have been woven enough so that it looks like one solid piece, and it kind of bleeds from red to black to blue, with a couple of sewing needles sticking out of them. His teeth are mildly sharper than a normal bloke's, as per his Qatari ancestry. And he's just interested to see what this whole funeral thing's all about before he gets back to what really matters to him. Would you care to introduce yourself, Ada?
I am Ayla Wormstone. I don't know what to say. I am a Warden of the Elements druid. Grew up in the ancient grove of the Echoing Green. I love just all things animals and plants, and I work as a herbalist. I travel around, and I get to meet a lot of really cool people. And me and my childhood friend Aldra, we traveled together to this funeral. Really long boat ride, and yeah. Go ahead.
What does she look like?
What does she look like? I want to ask too.
Describe the fit.
She is, or I am, half elf, half Dracona. So pretty elf looking for the most part. And then she has some scales that kind of come off of her face. I have like shoulder length, dark hair. I look mean, but I'm really not. Really just confident in my abilities and how I can help people, and normally wearing green, I guess.
Alright, cool. I'm playing Aldra, who is a full elf. She is a Wanderborn elf, and she is a wizard of the School of War. Before the funeral, before she met up with Ayla, she was busy trinket maxing, as the people call it, looking for things and stuff. And then felt a call to come to the funeral and met up with her friend along the way. And caught a boat on the way there. She is about 5'9". She's got green eyes. She's got long black hair with like a blonde undercut. She's always wearing a lot of jewelry, and she's got, I didn't realize I put her in so much leather, but now she's a leather lesbian, so that's cool. She's wearing a corset top and like a capelet covering her shoulders. That's black with like red and purple accentuation. She's got a long glove on her right arm, and she's wearing tall boots and a pair of leather pants. So
Awesome. So, now that you have all arrived here at the funeral, what I would love for you guys all to do is go ahead and each of you make a roll for me. And you can determine the roll, but it's going to be the way that you slipped through the Accord's nets on the way here. So it could be a finesse roll if you're trying to hide. It could be a presence roll if you charmed and deceived your way through. It could be an instinct roll if you snuck your way through by navigation and by sense instead of by deception or by stealth. Or it could be a knowledge roll, understanding the way that the Accord moves and how their patrols work and how all of that. But each of you can determine your own roll, and then we'll go one at a time. We'll start with Aldra, and we'll go around the table, and let me know if it was with hope or with fear.
So we're rolling both of them, or do you just
Roll both,
Okay.
and if your fear dice is higher, it's with fear. Hope dice is higher, it's with hope.
First roll.
First roll. Her hope dice is higher. It was a 10, and her fear dice was a 3.
Okay, so 13. What are you rolling for this? Is it a knowledge, a finesse?
13.
I think I was rolling with finesse, which was a +1.
So 14 total with hope.
Yes.
So go ahead and take a hope, mark it down.
Okay.
You can add a hope to your character sheet.
Okay.
And the reason we're doing this is we are going to have a countdown clock. So the countdown clock is a mechanic in Daggerheart that allows us to essentially count down different things. And one of the things is the four of you are doing your best not to be seen or found by the Accord. If this countdown clock reaches the bottom, they know who you are and they will start coming for you. So a 14 is in fact a success. So our countdown clock will stay at 8.
Will you be
Ayla.
telling us when it's I guess if it stays there, we'll just
The difficulty for this roll is a 12.
Oh, sorry. I meant will we constantly be able to see what the clock says?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. There are other countdown clocks that you will not see,
Yeah.
things that are happening behind the
Yeah.
scenes, but in this particular one, for some tension, you will know.
Love it.
Might be 13 to start.
Hell yeah.
Oh, now I'm nervous. 18 with fear.
18 with
Oh,
fear.
and then with +1 for presence.
Okay, so 19 with fear. So because it is with fear, it will go down 1. But it is still a success. So how do you think with that presence roll, Ayla attempted to avoid the gaze of the Accord, and where did it go wrong? Because it doesn't go wrong spectacularly. It's still a success, but maybe something went a little awry on the way. Maybe you tipped them off to one of your contacts, or maybe something else that doesn't directly impact you, but something went poorly.
I think she was probably traveling with some other people before meeting up with Aldra. And just attracted the attention of the Accord. Either it was just the way they looked or the way they were moving, I don't know. But I was able to kind of charm my way out of it. I'm not but other people were not so lucky.
So somewhere out there, somebody caught sight of the two of you and have put that together. But maybe the report didn't make it all the way back to the capital city. But maybe if the two of you are seen again somewhere, it might start sparking some interest. I love it. Gil.
That is a crit. 2 11s.
Very nice. Go ahead and mark a hope. And because it is a critical success, we will put this back to an 8.
Oh, baby. Nice work, Gil. That's my brother.
How was Gil so successful once the four of you got together that it pulled the heat off of these two companions of yours.
Alright, so here's the thing that I figured out, okay? These are cool people. They're using all these spy glasses, right? They're trying to spy over here, spy over there. What if they don't spy anywhere? You see, the other night I snuck on in to their main headquarters that's operating out of this city, and I decided to just ever so slightly alter the magnification lenses, so now everything just seems really small instead of really big. I think it's pretty fun. Hopefully the dumb ones among them won't pick up on it too quick. But we'll see. Should buy us at least a couple hours. Also, now we're all really small and cute.
It's 11 with fear.
11, a failure
Can I
with
add-
fear.
Can I use my well-traveled experience?
Do you have a hope to spend on it?
Oh yeah. Oh, it'd be a 12 because I have my +1 on presence.
Well, there you go. So a success with fear. So only one down. How did it go wrong for Cal on the journey? Because you were successful, but with fear, it's a mixed success. Something goes a little awry during the journey. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to tip people off on you or the four of you, but perhaps a contact or something else. Or maybe you just got into a bit of a scuffle or something like that, and like the local guard caught your attention, but maybe not, an officer or something along those lines.
I think that with his arm, the way it is, already drawing a bit more attention. And then passing through security gates, they're wanting to check it out. He's getting a little frustrated, lots of eyes. And yeah, maybe bumped a little shoulder here and there, kind of piss off. And then the local guard kind of caught wind. And I mean, there's not many people with half a torso of breathing wood. So that kind of mentality of somebody, or not mentality, sorry, that what's the word I'm looking for? Gil?
Physicality?
Nope. Starts with an R.
Really intelligent.
Yours, reputation.
There we go.
There it is.
You're welcome for getting you there.
His reputation for having half wood torso, plus being here, kind of tense times.
So an ironwood was spotted in a scuffle, but not necessarily tied to any sort of rebel activity.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. So, our countdown sits at 7 for the time being. As you guys are all standing here in this towering valley, massive, think Switzerland mountain valley, where the mountains are actually quite close to either side. Waterfalls cascading down. There's a stream that's running nearby this set of standing stones. And these stones are enormous. 2 stories tall, stacked on top of each other. Huge ring, probably 500 feet in diameter, with this broken altar in the middle with the body of Imran on it. Would the 4 of you be standing together? Would you be standing apart? Would you be looking for things that are around? How are you feeling in this moment?
I think I'm digging around for stuff. I think obviously there's a lot of cool stuff to look at since we're in like a big open area. So just kind of wandering around the standing stones, probably. What's over here?
Go ahead and make a presence roll for me if you don't mind.
Is that same 2 dice?
Same, yeah. So all of your guys'
Yeah.
rolls are going to be with 2 dice. It's always
Yeah.
going to be your hope and fear dice.
Cool.
Yeah.
12 hope and 9 for fear.
So mark another hope as your hope is higher. So that's a 21, possibly. What's your presence?
My presence is -1. So.
Okay, so a 20, still very, very good. So I'll say with a 20, as you're sort of just walking around, weaving in and out of all of the different standing stones and through the crowd and everything else, a few things sort of stand out to Aldra. With your sticky fingers, you tend to look for things that might be interesting to purloin or barter or take. And so an individual standing near the very, very back, as far away from the other people as possible without trying to stand out that they're being as far away from the others, is a towering Dracona man who is hunched. He's leaning back on one of the standing stones, and you see there's a cane on either side of him. So this is a man that walks with two canes. And he is scarred and broken. His nose has probably been broken a dozen times, if not more. And you just notice as you slip by, he's just got a small little badge, just like pinned to his collar, of a broken shield. And you clock instantly. You know who this is. This is the Shield themselves. This is one of the Circle. This old, broken man is a figure of legend. A figure that stood up against the voice in amber, stood up against the gods, stood up against any and all who would harm others. This man, Jareth Tel Leandrin, is, by all accounts, a hero. But you also know, having grown up under the Accord in the 64 years since the rise of the Voice in Amber and of the Accord, that he has been painted as a traitor, as a rebel, as someone who turned their back on the Circle of Dawn to save one city. You don't know if it's true or not, but those two realities conflict in your mind of this savior, this hero, and this man who turned his back on his friends. And he just stands there, just arms crossed, eyes downcast, sort of gray silver skin and scales, just looking down, just waiting. What's everybody else up to?
Cal will be standing there, looking around, seeing if anybody needs a hand, if they're hauling something, they're moving something, setting things up. Are they?
The only one who seems to be doing any work at this point in time is an old elvish woman who is attending to the altar where Imran locked the body of the Dawnseeker. A small, red-furred simian body. A small, sort of like monkey person, almost. Probably stands about 4 feet tall. The fur is red, but aged with silver and white. And this woman is standing over the body. She's barefoot. She's got sort of like long, braided silver hair. And she's just putting, finishing touches on this pyre that this, the Dawnseeker, this hero as well, lays upon. And you know this is the Wildbound. This is another member of the Circle who is presiding over this funeral, burning her friend.
Okay. So Cal has definitely like a lot of respect for these six. Would say leans more onto the side of believing the positives of them. Definitely some things that conflict with him are like all the negatives. So like he still obviously has those like tugs on his emotions, but he's definitely not necessarily like a fanboy, but he's like, no, I like what they did here.
sort of like looks up from her work. She appears to be in probably her 60s or 70s, but for an elf, could be hundreds.
The name is escaping me of our grandfather.
The Herald.
Oh, yeah. I cannot. What did I say? Theros.
Theros. Yes. Theros the Herald.
Yeah.
Theros Price.
I'll extend my hand. My name's Callum Price, grandson of Theros.
Her eyes go wide for a second, and she reaches out and takes your hand. Ilara Stoneman. I knew your grandfather. He was a great man.
All without his faults, but aren't we all?
Aren't we all? Shame you never got to meet him. He was a singular man in his desire to protect and to help. I'm glad you came. Imrud would be happy to know that you're here. And your family. Your mother, her name escapes me. Geraldine?
Gemma. Gemma.
Gemma, yes. Is she well?
She passed about 9 years ago. 8 years ago.
I'm truly sorry. My apologies for reopening a wound if I have.
I've been dealing for the last few months now, so still pretty open.
Well, I'm glad you're here. I must attend the pyre. This will start soon.
I need a hand if anything.
You are your grandfather's. Yes, if you wouldn't mind. Those big pieces over there, they're, well, big.
I can help with that. And then I'll go.
Yeah. The two of you just sort of finish putting the final touches on the pyre around this broken altar. Gil, Ayla, you guys up to anything?
I'll take a look at these standing stones.
Looking for anything in particular?
I just want to see if they seem special in any sort of way. I mean, if this is a special sort of event. So I'm trying to deduce why here. Does it have anything to do with these stones?
Go ahead and make a knowledge roll for me.
That is a 17 with hope. 18 with hope.
An 18 with hope. Go ahead and mark a hope. And I'd say with an 18 with hope, as you're walking around the standing stones, the closer you get to them, the more you realize that these stones are carved all over with symbols that you have been in your past abusing. Symbols of the divine, symbols of the gods, the real gods. Or at least the ones that the story said walked the earth before the voice in Amber came. And as you're walking around, a memory sparks you, something that your mother told you. Because she told you stories of the Six, of her father and his friends who tried to save the world and failed. And the Dawnseeker was the one that was tied closest to the gods. As much as they protected and fought against different divinities that were trying to wrestle control of Vel, there were some that were kind and just and good, who also disappeared when the voice came. And the Dawnseeker spoke for those and believed in those who held the same mission as the Circle. And as you're walking around, one other sight catches your eye as you're inspecting these stones and looking around, and that's sitting atop sort of a cross piece. So the stones go up and there's one sitting across of these, legs dangling over the edge, a dwarvish woman, all in black. What does Gil know about Alexstrasza Winterstone, better known as the Fang?
would say that Gil has always had a distant admiration. Perhaps a little bit of jealousy. Maybe thought, why was my ancestor the herald when I've got such a knack for what the Fang was always after? But the unfortunate thing is, didn't talk about it too much.
And so with that, I want to try and clamber up there.
Okay, give me an agility roll, if you wouldn't mind.
Ten
With fear. I will say, with a 10 with fear, you successfully make the climb, but it isn't graceful. You slip and stumble and make a bit of a clatter as you're climbing up. And this stout woman, as you sort of get to the top, just sort of chuckles and speaks over her shoulder back at you. You're gonna have to do better than that if you're gonna sneak up on anybody. That was pathetic.
Oh, that wasn't. Someone's dropped it.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay. That wasn't a real attempt. I'm practicing my bumbling idiot con right now. Seems it's gone off rather well, don't you think?
Well, if you're looking for being a bumbling idiot, then you've succeeded. And if you wouldn't mind, I was all the way up here for a purpose, and that purpose wasn't company.
Just wanted to ask you a quick question. If that's all right.
Sure, I'm not up to anything.
Sweet. I was curious if you ever pulled any ludicrous pranks on me grandpappy. You see, he was the herald. And, well...
Your Theros is a brood.
That's right, yeah, that's his name. And, you know, I've just always heard all of the serious stuff about him. I was curious if you had maybe a little bit more of a guffaw sort of moment.
I suppose a funeral is as good a place as any to reminisce again about the dead. Your grandfather... She smiles and sort of looks down at the 100 or so people gathered below. Your grandfather was a very serious man who, when he got in his caps, loved to join me on my jeeps and pranks. And so perhaps that's where you got your glorious ability to con, O bumbling fool, was from his blood, as much as he was the voice of us and the voice of the people. Voices sometimes tell jokes.
Makes perfect sense now. My brother got the sober half of him and I got the drunken half. Well, thank you very much.
Not a problem. You can go and ask the shield sometime. Grandfather made Jareth piss his pants. That was a good one.
It's the reason his nose is so busted up.
That might be the reason why your grandfather's nose was busted up.
Ooh. You know, this might be a bit more fun than I thought it was going to be. Thank you very much. Sorry, I always remember your title.
Alexstrasza.
Lovely name.
And yours?
Gilligan.
Gilligan.
I always call him Gil, though.
It's better.
But Alexstrasza, ain't no way I'm calling you Alex. Alexstrasza's cool, son. Pretty primo real estate, I'm sure.
Yeah. I prefer not to have too many people speak it these days.
You got it, Alex. See you later. Go pop down and see if you can steal any snacks.
The only snacks I think that would be here would be the snacks that you traveled with, your rations and everything else.
Never bloody snack
salad.
at
Ayla, are you up to anything?
I I think she would just be taking in, like, all of, just, like, the nature side of it. Probably would have said hi, like, a little, catch up with Gil. And then probably just looking for her grandmother.
Easy enough to find in the center of these standing stones. And I would also say, given your proximity to working with your grandmother, a number of people, as you're working your way through the crowd and just spending some time and admiring this pristine beauty around you, people would come up and call you by name and say hello. Some you remember, some, I haven't seen you since you were this big kind of thing as you're just walking around. Because unlike your 3 traveling companions of the last couple of days, you are still very closely tied to a member of the Circle of Dawn as sort of an acolyte and apprentice of your grandmother working in the Echoing Green. But you notice as you sort of break your way through the crowd and come to the center of the standing stones, your grandmother has sort of stopped and she's lighting some incense. And one of your traveling companions of the last couple of days, Gil's brother Cal, is putting the finishing touches, piling some big logs up against this black stone altar. An altar that clearly has had a pyre on it in the past at some point in time and is still soot covered, but is cracked in the middle and sits sort of slightly ajar. But thankfully, Imran's body is small enough to just sit on one side of this broken altar. Your grandmother looks up as you come over. "Ah, Ela dear, if you wouldn't mind from my pack over there, just grab me 3 more sticks of the incense. We're about to get started."
Sure
No, she's
thing.
not Scottish, she's British.
Whatever comes out, I guess. Sure thing, grandmother. Here you go.
Is there anything that you need? Would you like to assist? I know you didn't really know Imran all that well.
If it makes it easier for you.
It's always nice having an extra pair of hands. And she sort of like slyly looks over at Cal as she says this, as like Cal's lifting up this like final huge log and plunking it on the pyre.
You always know how to find them, grandmother.
Well, it's not terribly difficult to make men do the hard work.
Keeps going.
Good work there, brother.
Thanks, Cal.
Well, I suppose we shan't dally much longer. This close to the capital, we will be only unseen for a short while, so let's best get on with it. And she sort of like looks up at the crowd and just sort of claps her hands together once. And you've seen her do this thousands of times to get the attention of the people in the grove, or when she's teaching young kids how to, use the druidic arts or move through the woods unseen or things like that. She puts a little bit of magic into the clap, and it's just one, and it's just off the mountains, and everybody's head just sort of snaps to this diminutive old elvish woman who all of a sudden is just commanding this space.
I told you it's all about presentation, see?
Yeah, I understand.
And she steps up barefoot, sprigs of mountain heather and crow feathers in her hair, and steps up onto a small sort of stone. And as she speaks, those close, so Ayla and Cal, close enough to her, notice that, like, as she steps onto this, vines literally crawl out of the ground and lift her up just a little higher. And her voice is calm and rich with age, and occasionally trembles as she speaks the eulogy, trembling not from weakness or age, but sadness for her friend who has passed. A friend who helped her try to save the world. A friend who failed, but never stopped giving in the good fight. She looks out at all of you. We gather here in the arms of the old gods not to summon them, but to remember that they once walked among us, caring for us, as Imran did. Imran Ulat. Some know him as the Dawn Seeker. He was a prophet, he was a fool, and he was a brother to so many. He taught us not to wait for the sun, but to become its light on Vel. He never spoke plainly. He danced around the truth and painted in riddles and laughter. But if you listened, if you truly listened, you heard it in his voice. A song older than the silence that came after. And when the circle was torn, and when faith broke like stone, it was Imran who lit the last fire here, who whispered to the forgotten gods, and to the spirits, and to the land of Vel itself, who kept the names we were no longer allowed to say. And he looks up at Alexstrasza sitting, or she looks up at Alexstrasza sitting on the stones. He saw the fang for who she truly was, not the betrayal painted by frightened hands. She stood between the shield and a blade meant for his heart. And he forgave the Flamekeeper, even when his actions led to where we are now. Imran died in peace, a rare thing these days. But I do not believe he's gone. His body rests here. But his spark has fled on the wind to light fires across this land. And she turns to each of you, finding your eyes in the crowd, to where the wind turns west, to where the flame still stirs. Hope is not gone. Even cold embers can relight a burning blaze. She kneels and just puts her hand out, and with a touch of green fire and a murmur in the old tongues, the pyre lights, first in green and then blue and then yellow and then settling in to a brilliant orange flame. And she speaks in a language that Ayla, only you and other followers of the druidic path can understand. And she says, "Let the veil open. Let the seeds scatter. Let the sun remember his name." And then she just breaks down and turns away and walks out of the circle of stones as her friend's body burns and his ashes scatter on the wind. And the crowd sort of stands in a reverent silence for a few moments. Some tears, some hands clasped on shoulders, as one of the 6 who tried to save the world and failed passes on from Vel to who knows where. Then people scatter and clatter and cluster in groups, and the true remembrance of a funeral starts to begin as stories are being told and remembered, and bottles are broken out, and an occasional lute or dulcimer starts to string along and play. And the time is yours to do with what you will.
I didn't talk to him before, but I want to wander over to Jareth. Jareth, is that who this is?
Jareth Tell, yes.
I want to kind of wander over to him. What's he doing right now?
He's still just leaning up against that stone, arms crossed, face like a broken mountain range. Like, not in a scowl, but just in... He's just one of those people that just looks like nothing can shake them because everything everything they've faced every fight, every foe, everything, and he's just there, just standing, impassive, 7.5 feet tall.
Of course. Then I slowly wander over close by, but then I'm like, oh yeah, he's fucking tall. And then just be like, you look like you're deep in thought. Fond memory, not so fond. What you thinking about?
I'm thinking about how my friend just died.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair thought. Just, thinking about a lot of things. Just wondering if, any fond memories to share or.
Have you ever lost someone before?
I have, yeah, I've lost some people, some friends on journeys, so.
How do you remember them?
Some fondly, some not as fondly. Some are not as kind to me, but some I remember being, spending a lot of time with around the campfire, drinking, laughing, fond memories, I guess, like that.
Imran was the kindest idiot I've ever known. He literally tried to give me the shirt off his back and I could barely put one arm in it. The world is poorer today than it was yesterday.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Did you know him?
Not personally. I just heard stories.
And why he?
Feels important. Feels like something that you should be remembered. You should be sent off with, with people who want to wish him well, I guess. Send him off.
Who invited you?
I came with a friend. I was just kind of caught a ship on the way here.
It's pretty easy to tell in this moment that he is slipped from like pleasant conversation into this man is he's named the shield. He is a protector, and he is reading you right now to make sure that you are meant to be here.
That's fair. I think now that his attention is also on me, I'm like, all right, well, now I'm starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable because you're so tall, and I'm also here.
And as you sort of look down and fluster,
Yeah.
this huge hand just rests on your shoulder with just he means it to be gentle, but it's like a boulder. Yeah. It's like a boulder rests on your shoulder.
Yeah.
It's all right. If you weren't meant to be here, you wouldn't be. Just take this as a lesson. Blend in a little better.
I appreciate that.
To answer your earlier question, I remember him fondly and with kindness. I have lost too many to be burdened by the sadness of their passing. Instead, I remember the brightness of their life.
I think that's a good way to remember them.
This too. And with the other hand, he passes over a flask.
Sweet. I take it from him thanks. And then just take a swig.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes.
How accomplished a drinker is Aldra?
She spends a fair amount of time in taverns, so probably a decent amount. She's not a lightweight, but she's probably not getting slammed on the regular.
Got it. This is a particularly strong and delicious rum.
Cool. Yeah. As I go to take a swig, I'm like, you're so strong. And then just take a swig. And I'm like, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
He takes it back. Did you notice? And he nods towards where the wild bound walked away, Ayla's grandmother. She looked right at you.
I did kind of notice that. That was a little bit weird.
Imran used to do that. He knew things. They called him a prophet. Might be worth looking into.
Thank you. Appreciate the tip.
Now piss off. I like to drink alone.
Fair. And then I turn around and just like, I'm not fighting her, fuck my friend, mate. And scamper off.
Oh, God, look, this guy's got a flask. You thirsty? I sure am.
He doesn't look like he wants to share.
Well, you
It's
know,
a flask. There's drinks all around, Gil.
nobody's even thinking about sharing until you ask, so. I'm gonna just, rub it on over there.
Right. As we walk over, doesn't all this make you feel like we should be doing something more? Something bigger? I just spent the last 8 years of my life wandering around, chasing nobodies. Coin here, little reputation there. And for what? These guys died fighting for something big.
I think that's the key point, is that they died.
Well, some of them. I mean, the point is though that they stood.
Sure, but even a stone can stand.
It's awfully noble that it stays standing though, don't you think? Reaching your faces.
I suppose.
Shouldn't we be doing something like that? It's just a thought anyway.
No, I think maybe you're right, but here's the thing about this sort of stuff is that it doesn't bring in a lot of money.
Always about the money with you.
Well, you know, you gotta eat, that costs money. You gotta sleep somewhere, that usually costs money.
I understand how money works, Gil.
Well, apparently you don't, because you just said it's always money with me, but really it's more about boots and drinks and food and a nice warm bed. But I need money to get all those things.
You just saw Imran's boots went up in flames. You know what's not up in flames right now? His reputation and what he stood for and what he did. Everything that the money bought is gone.
Just because they burned it, though.
Yeah, that's my point.
Some nice boots.
Reputation isn't gonna be burned.
Unless you're that one fella.
Anyways, Gil.
Besides the point, I've got a question to ask old Colossus friend here. And if you would like to come and buy a drink off, you're more than welcome.
It's awfully big. Carry on.
Don't feel scared. He's not that much bigger than you.
And I'll walk up to Jareth, and I'll just say,
Greetings, my very impressive friend. My name is Gilligan. I saw you talking to my brother the other day, earlier today. That was the other day. Anyways, I was just talking to Alex up there. She said you got a great story about our grandpappy. Because I was all like, hey, you know any Kahoot stories? And she was like, oh, you know who you need to ask. That fella right there.
Who's your grandfather?
Oh yeah, Ferrith the Herald.
Right. Fuck off.
Oh, alright. Well, it was worth a chance. One day, maybe we'll be able to relive the grandeur of the old days. But our fine fellow here is just not up for it, and that's alright.
Does he always talk this much?
From what I remember, yeah, it's been 8 years and I'm already tired of it. After 3 months,
He died.
yeah.
I've done that before. never seen you before in my life.
No, you're definitely the chap. Two big men, chap. Yeah.
My name is Cal. I appreciate you looking after our grandfather, really.
You're welcome.
Anyway, I just came to introduce him for a drink, but you have a lovely day. And I'll walk off.
As you turn away, he just sort of looks at you. You can stay.
You know?
Just
And I'm just gonna be quiet.
Yeah,
and
he
I'm
just-
gonna stand right beside
He
him.
just passes you the flask, says nothing, and just stares dead
I also
forward.
say nothing.
Ayla, can you go ahead and roll an instinct roll for me?
Mhm. 10 with fear.
10 with fear. Oof. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and... all my fear is falling down. Alright. I got to get a better magnet strip. That's alright. I'll just... They just need to be seen, so I'm just going to put them over here for now, and I'll fix that later. So whenever you guys roll with a fear, I get a fear. I don't know where the last one went. Thank you, sir. And I will keep them visible because I get to spend them for things. All right, so you just sort of like watch the pyre burn for a second. What are you thinking in this moment? Here, watching your grandmother really be a circle member for the first time in a long time, because she's usually just a druid of your grove.
Mm-hmm. She's definitely feeling more of that, like, call to do something. Like, she always felt that, just didn't know how, the way her grandmother talked about it. She knew that it was important. But just like with the way the world is, she figured it just never was gonna happen. But I think she's gonna start thinking and like remembering all these little things that maybe her grandmother had like said and she just never like paid full attention to. And yeah, just kind of getting the ball rolling for that.
Do you follow after her as she leaves?
I think I would have. I think I would have stood there for a minute and then went and checked on her because she got so emotional. I don't think I would have seen a lot of that.
Yeah, so you walk out of the circle and your grandmother is sitting maybe about 50 feet outside the circle, just in a bed of mountain heather. And she's just sitting cross-legged on the ground, her back to you, but like you can see the shakes in her shoulder as she's just sobbing. Something you've never seen. She is a force to be reckoned with in general. And this sort of vulnerability is something that maybe a handful of times in your life you would have seen her display in public.
I think I would have like given her a second and then just like slowly approached and kind of like crouched down beside her and just hugged her.
She just immediately just sort of like curls into you.
I think I would just keep holding her until she kind of calms herself a little. And then maybe I think I'd ask her if she wanted to talk about more about it, just like why she's so emotional, why this was such a big deal.
She sort of takes a moment, collects herself, and sighs. He's the first one. He's the first one that's passed since this all fell. Theros, the heralds, he died a long time ago, and I've had time to mourn him. And Alicent, well, we don't really know what happened to her. Not truly. It's true what they said. She helped bring the voice in Amber here. She didn't know. She didn't know what she was doing. She thought she was going to save it. I suppose in a way she did. The war ended. A kind of peace came. And then I've had 60 damn years to think about how we failed. And reminisce and tell stories and plan and doubt and circle back. And then Imran just goes and dies. In his sleep, the fucker. It's not fair. We were supposed to win. We were supposed to make it a better place. And you know what the worst of it is? She looks up at you. You're supposed to fix it all. That's what he told me. You and Theros' kids, and that friend of yours, they wrote a letter. They always wrote letters and called them prophecies. It was a year ago. I never opened it. I don't want you to have to go through what we did. You are strong, Ayla, and capable. Sometimes too foolhardy. Genuinely. I think you could do it. But I'm afraid. I'm afraid of what happens if you don't.
Then we will.
Just like that.
Did he tell you how? Where to start?
And you can see that she's wrestling in this moment with protecting you as a grandmother should, and telling you as a member of the Circle of Dawn should. Can you go gather your friends? And that's where we'll take a break. Go, Mouse Man. I will be. So, when we left off, we met all of our wonderful new characters. We had a bit of a funeral. We met some of history's most divisive figures. And Ayla just had a conversation with her grandmother where something was revealed, a prophecy of some kind, and sent you to go gather your new companions. Well, new and old companions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we'll pick up.
Right.
I think I was already kind of wandering over because I was talking to
Jareth Tell.
That's my fault. Yeah. And then it's kind of a thing of like when you're at a party and you're like, I don't know anyone here. I'm gonna go find my friend. So I wander over and I'm like, you want to believe this guy? I think I picked the meanest guy to talk to. I should have picked anyone else. Literally anyone else. I went over there so confident and thought this will be fine. It wasn't. It wasn't fine. He scared the shit out of me. He's so tall. And do you ever like talk to someone and then think to yourself, he could straight up punch me in the throat. I'm looking at him like this. Like I'm like, this feels vulnerable.
Exposed.
I feel exposed and anxious. And then it was like, how do I get out of it? So
Have you been drinking?
I had a little bit of his drink because he offered and I was like, that's rude. But just a little bit. It was a two-hander. So that might be my fault.
Can you come with me really quick though?
Yeah.
We gotta find Gil and his brother.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. That guy.
I don't know him yet. Like really. Just kind of that guy.
Audacity.
That guy.
The wood guy. The wood stone guy. I don't know.
I'm cementing it now. This is going to be a running bit for the rest of the campaign where it's going to be Gil and his brother. Just because how you reacted.
You went missing for how long? Gil was around.
Missing. It's bitch.
So, big bro. How's it chat with your idol? You're welcome, by the
I'm
way.
still there.
Into that. No, you're not. You're right here with me.
He's my favorite.
But I'm just looking at you and I'm going.
I'll do a.
Okay, so we'll stroll up then.
How like, are you like 20, 30 feet away?
I would say I'm probably like 30 feet away, and I'm just playing what's it called? Cradle.
Cat's Cradle.
Cat's Cradle. I'm just playing Cat's Cradle with myself, like sitting cross-legged in the grass right now.
How old are each of your characters, by the way?
26, 20.
Come back to me.
Alright.
I was gonna say early 20s, so yeah, 20, 26.
Yeah, probably around the same.
Adventuring age.
Yeah.
Enough where I'm a little bit toxic. And everyone lets me get away with it.
Yeah. Still can have some toot and it's fine.
My brain is fully developed.
Yeah, my Gil's the only kid here. Clearly.
That's great.
Clearly.
So you come across Gil, cat's cradling, sitting in the grass.
That one.
Gil,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
I just, keeping busy. These are very dull events.
Yeah, I guess you're not wrong. Where's your brother?
Oh, he's over there. I've got him in a little bit of a VIP chit-chat with his childhood crush, so...
Chit-chat, you say?
Hmm?
It doesn't look like they're
We are not
chit-chatting.
saying, we're not even looking at each other. Standing side by side, staring straight off.
No, once you get to know that type of guy, on the streets we call them thugs, alright? Once you get to know that type of guy, they're talking right now. That's it, they're communicating. They're having a very deep, long, beautiful conversation.
It's vibes. Vibes alone. Just.
I think
Look at that lack of eye contact. That is eye contact.
Okay.
We call trust me on this. I've known him for 10 years minus 10 years plus 3 months.
Well, can you grab him for me?
Oh,
I'm looking at you guys now at this point. It's not that far away.
oh, 1 second, I just gotta get untied.
I'll do it.
so I'm not looking.
I'll just walk up.
You probably have met Jareth Tell dozens of times, and he has always been nothing but kind to you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll just walk up. Sorry for your loss, Jareth.
It's all right, Ayla. How's your grandmother holding up?
She's feeling very emotional. Said something kind of crazy about me and my friends, which is actually why I'm helping
You notice
to
one?
Not really.
He's a good kid.
Okay. Appreciate it. I think I'll be the judge of that then.
All right.
Do you mind if I still him for a little?
That's all right.
Thank you.
Be safe.
Can you come with us?
Yeah, sure.
I think I'll just kind of be like, as we're walking, just kind of explain oh, my grandmother said something kind of crazy that four of us need to work together for something, and she just asked me to grab all of you.
I want her to say bye first. And then let's roleplay that.
Okay.
That'd be because it fits what we were just roleplaying.
Role playing? In a role playing? Madness.
I know, it's crazy. Thanks for the drink.
Yeah. Look out for her. If you don't, I'll break your legs.
I'll do my best.
Good.
I'll just pass the glass back. I'll go.
I'd like to intercept him really quick.
Mhm.
And just be like, dude, you were totally blushing when
I
you
am
said
full on
he's
smiling
a
now.
good kid.
I'm full on
You're
smiling.
a good kid, you hear that?
I can't believe it.
That's crazy. She thinks you're a good
I've
kid.
never been met him before.
I mean, he thinks I'm a blustering idiot, but everyone thinks that.
It's give and take.
Yeah, exactly. I'm always the minus, you're always a plus.
Just like old times, Gil.
As long as the number gets bigger, that's all I care about.
I hate to interrupt this little brother thing you got going on. Can we get walking, please?
Yeah, where we going?
Do we have a brother thing going on?
Gil.
What?
My grandmother requested all of this. I'd rather not keep her waiting.
Fair enough.
Alright.
Thank you. We'll just skedaddle.
We're definitely going to talk about this later, because I'm like, buddy.
So, Ayla leads you out of the Standing Stones to a significantly more composed grandmother at this point in time. She's standing there, sort of brushed herself off, and you already met Alara briefly earlier. Have you ever met Alara Stormbloom?
Because I only met you when we were kids. So, you were traveling with your parents.
Yeah, I would. No.
Yeah, no.
I've talked to her about her, so she feels familiar, but
Mhm.
I've never actually met
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. I know of you, but we've never officially met.
Have you talked to your grandmother about Aldra?
I think I probably would have said, I met a friend when we were out, and then we just kept being friends. She would know of her, but, not really sort of thing. Just
You haven't spilled the
this is
tea.
something-
Yeah.
Yeah.
No details.
No details on what we connected about. Just
What we got up to, the nice word, dog.
So she sort of stands there in all of her sort of 5'4" glory. Her hands just across her stomach, just looking at you all as you come up, and clocks each of you in the eyes, just as she did during the funeral. Did you tell them?
not really.
Ayla, one of these days.
It would just be so much better if you did it.
ago, Imra and I met, and he gave me a letter, and he told me that on the day of his funeral, I will meet 4 young people who will fix what we failed to fix.
How did you know that it was us 4?
Well, he told me one was my granddaughter. He told me one was a young woman hiding her magic,
That's crazy.
and 2 were the grandchildren of my friend the Herald.
Well, I'm not much of a math guy, but I think that makes 4.
It does get
I don't know why I'm looking at you. You're not much of a math guy anyway. I think so. Are you a math person?
Those look like 4 fingers to me. I think
Perfect.
we got it.
Somehow, that's incredibly endearing.
Oh, thank you.
Look, I didn't tell Ayla this because I didn't believe it. Because let's be fair, most prophets get it wrong a lot of the time.
That is true.
But every now and again they get it damn straight right. I've never met the 2 of you before. I knew you existed, sort of. I knew your mother. You're a mystery.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say about me, so makes sense. Me and Ayla were friends growing up, so we met on our travels. Her and I were both wandering in the same directions, I guess. So, yeah.
Well, tied together then, in loose fashion. I never opened the letter.
Why not?
It wasn't for me.
You have it on you.
When your friend, a renowned prophet, tells you that on the day of his funeral, you're going to meet 3 interesting young people and your granddaughter, who has always been interesting and always been young, and they're going to save the damn world, well. And she sort of reaches into a pouch at her belt and pulls out this sort of slightly crumpled but sealed letter. You bring receipts. None of you have to do this. I don't even know what this is. But my friend thought it was important, and so I leave the choice to you. If you want to completely fuck up your lives and be hunted and shamed and shunned and cut and wounded and on the run, well. And she just sort of like reaches out and drops the letter, and it just sort of flutters down and lands atop the heather. I'm going to get very quite drunk, and if you need me, find the loudest drum. And she just pushes past the 4 of you and walks back into the standing stones.
Well, that might have been the shittiest sales pitch I ever heard in my life. I mean, I've heard some shitty ones.
I'm already at the letter. I'm not opening it, but I'm holding it.
How's the heft? Feels hefty.
It feels normal, Gil.
You're shaking it like a birthday birthday card?
Well, I mean, usually
I doubt there's any money in it.
the best kind of letters do have money in them. That one doesn't.
I doubt it. I don't know you two. Besides his last 2 days. But I know Gil. And if he knows you, but don't know how, I suppose I can trust him enough.
Oh, she's
You, I don't know. But I'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
I'll do the same. Guess, yeah, all tied together loosely. Strings oftentimes get tighter the longer they're pulled tight, so.
as I pull my hands out of my jacket.
You're
absolutely wrong about that.
You've actually been stuck the whole
Yeah.
time.
The whole time, just.
Do you know, I said that I was going to put this away? Don't know how.
Now, I don't know about for you. I was just chatting with Gil about doing something bigger. I want openness. And ideally with the three of you.
There's a three of us.
But like she said, if you don't want, don't do it.
Just like she said.
Shall we?
I think so.
Well, democratically, then I think you should open it.
I'll open it and pull out the paper and I'll hand it to you.
Your fingers still tied together?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm just like holding my thumbs. I forgot you couldn't read. Alright. It says.
If you check the group chat, it is in there. Gil, you can narrate it for us.
Oh boy.
Whoa.
Get my accent dialed in.
Oh, that's how you're supposed to do it.
Alright. So, this letter,
No, just
first of all, does not have a greeting, by the way. Just jumps straight into it.
On with it, Gil.
Well, you got to keep people wanting for as long as possible. Forgive me if this reaches you too late. I'd hoped for more time, but the wind carries us all towards silence eventually. If you're reading this, then I am gone. And the work is now yours. In the ashes of our memory, a spark still sleeps. It has not died, it has waited for you. I think that's the all-encompassing you, not the direct me. Never believe the circle was broken beyond repair. Scattered, yes. Wounded, yes. But the truth cannot bleed out. Deep in the western grasslands of Vilcatha, something stirs. I saw it in dreams and in a flame that would not go out. I should probably get that checked. Follow the river that runs like silver down the spine of the earth. It leads to her. I wonder who that is. Light still clings to her shame. She is not what she once was, but she is not lost. Asking nothing of dear cold, they would burn this page if they could. They fear her. Oh, sounds like someone in our corner for sure. Make haste, but not with loud feet. Oh dear, that's not great for you. Dear cold listens in places you would not think to whisper. Everything you need to begin again lies westward, so go. Find the flame before they smother it for good. Signed, Imrin.
The flamekeeper's still alive.
That's what I've gathered. What do you think?
We go west.
You know, as it so happens, the Grey Man is going west. What a turn of fate that is. For me.
Sorry, who was that?
Oh, it's this really cheeky bloke that took something from me. He left me a little note, said he was going west. Maybe hit on the way. Maybe hit on the way back.
Well, I feel like tonight we respect Imran, respect the space, and respect the dead. And then tomorrow, we go try to find the Flamekeeper.
I have a drink by a very large drum.
I could use a stiff drink.
I gotta have one of those, but two's better than one.
So what do we say? We doing this?
Works for me.
Yeah. I'm in.
I didn't really feel like it, but peer pressure is a bitch, isn't it?
Perfect. Well, let's go drink then.
Let's hit it.
You guys took no convincing whatsoever. All right, so you head back into the mix of bodies and chaos and everything else that is going on in the middle of the circle, and it has changed. It's a completely different sort of vibe from when you left, where you've come in now, and it is people drinking and people laughing and people singing and people telling stories, and you've been gone 10 minutes. And it was just like a switch flipped. A lantern turned on, and all of a sudden it's a party. And you drink into the night?
We walk past the altar, right?
Yes.
Is it still burning at this point?
Yeah, it's still burning. It was a pretty big pile of logs you put on that bad boy.
Okay.
Is there anything any of you want to do this eve?
Well, I think it would be pertinent for all of us to maybe get to know each other.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
That's good. Find a quiet corner of the tavern.
Find a couple casks of wine and some beer and whatnot, and set up your camp. So, how prepared is everyone for sleeping in the rough, knowing that you were coming to this place? Some of you have history on the road. Some of you are used to roofs over your head. But are you tenting bedrolls under the stars? What type of gear did you bring?
Cal, at this point, is like doing this for like 8-9 years. It's gonna be like quite a tight pack, but it'd be like a one-person tent.
Mm.
He would have that in his pack. He's very comfortable in this space.
Could always hang a hammock in a tree.
Fair enough. Have to go a little further away, or you could maybe figure out a way to hang it between two standing stones.
I'll find a way. It's probably standing.
Ayla would probably just be rolled out under the stars. Totally fine just being out there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Eldra also. She's a wanderer. She's like, rolls out her bedroll and is like, good night.
Okay.
Roll it in.
So the four of you have gathered around a campfire and cook fire, and the evening is yours.
I will have carried over a small keg of wine for us.
Mhm.
And I'll just be sitting on top of it, just pouring out a little wine.
He's always gone the drinks, making sure everybody's having too much, right?
Just a comfy seat. Yep.
Yeah, sure.
So how do you two know each other?
Us two?
Yeah.
I just kind of bumped into each other along the way, sort of thing. You know, small world, all that.
Yeah.
She knows the crew, you know? Right? You know, like,
You know the Busters.
yeah, you know Mo and Shoebox, right? Yeah, she
Weird
knows.
I'm-
names.
I don't even need to, but I'm rolling insight from them. Is there insight?
Yeah, you could roll an instinct.
Instinct. Is it still with these two?
Always.
14 with hope.
14 with hope. Go ahead and mark a hope.
Oh, 15 with hope, sorry, because it's my +1.
She's telling the truth. She knows the Busters, at least some of them. She spent some time with your brother.
Your role playing was saying you didn't. That's why I did.
I was
I
didn't
That's
know that I
cold-blooded, my
did.
man.
Well, she looked like she did. So I was like, wait, is she in character right now, or does she herself?
It's session 1. No one
Yeah, yeah.
remembers their lore.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know. I thought I just tripped and fell and in front of you. I don't know who I know.
Okay.
And I don't know a lot about you. So you're Gil, and you're the brother, and you.
Callum.
Yes, that was the name.
You
And
each
I
call
was
him
trying-
Pal.
Perfect. Great. Love that. So I don't know a whole bunch about you. You can't read. That's what I have.
Absolutely can read.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. Then tell your brother. Tell the truth. I guess. I don't know.
Have you ever seen him read?
You know, valid.
Who's telling the truth?
Who's to say?
You ever seen him in a book in a room with a book? I don't think so.
Never seen him in a
Did
room
hand
with a
the
book.
letter over. You could have just read it.
He likes to chat and talk.
I also like to read, unlike him.
Those are your questions. See if I can read.
Well, yeah, because that's all the information I currently have is that you can't read and that I didn't know your name. So I got those things now. So
Yeah, no, I haven't seen Gil in 8 years. I was wandering around the islands
What for?
to heal, really. And that's how it started. All this was gone.
That is quite peculiar.
Have you told her what happened? How we split?
No, actually. When we were doing the hang, I thought you were dead. So,
Glad I came up.
well, you didn't because you were dead.
You of all people should understand sarcasm, Gil.
Yeah, well, it's all in execution, my brother. You do not have that.
Quite stone-faced.
No, he's not stoned. He never does drugs. Straight and narrow, that brother.
straight laced.
But, well, you want me to tell a story? You want to tell a story?
I know you do.
I'm telling the story. Actually, I hate telling the story. It hurts me deep inside.
I'll tell the story.
Thank you.
So one night we were back at the brothel where Mum worked. Long story short,
We don't cut it short now.
a man named Sal came in. Him and his boys were causing a scene. The blockbuster stepped up. Buster, me, Fuller,
Let's do it, too.
and Stu. We all tried to stop them. They fell. I fell. And they died. And I wish I did. Not anymore, but in the moment. Cleaved in half. Somehow carried away and taken to a boat offshore to find what's his name? The Wormwood Healer. I think that might have been it. He's a druid out on the islands. And all this, he's made of all of it. So maybe they knew him, maybe they thought he could save me. But anyways, 8 years later as a mercenary, taking jobs, making money, being really pissed off.
Stone leaf healer, by the way.
Stone leaf healer. And then one day, I was in a church. Well, I came upon the church. It started on fire. And I said, fuck it, I'm going in. 2 kids inside, brought them out. And that's where I found this after I brought the kids out. And I hold up my axe. And that's why this glows and why right there is glowing. Because I started believing in Ashuel, the god who still stands.
I don't think he actually exists, but he definitely does.
Do you think I can do this on my own?
Oh no. What have you? This one, huh? No, it's not one of these. They do the fun thing.
Think you'd have a basically the same. Basically. Anyways, took a job, ended up back home. Well, not back home, near home. That's where I found you again. So that's what I've been up to for the last 9 years. And that's a bit of who I am.
So you know that you can trust him because he's a religious man.
Did you see how he mentioned he didn't read?
Nothing about reading.
Anyway, that's all about him. What's all about you?
Oh, about me? I've just been doing my thing, buying stuff, selling stuff, buying the same stuff I just sold,
Oh.
stealing maybe some stuff that I wanted to sell, maybe getting into some trouble with girls, you know. So it'd be like that sometime. Yeah, just been kind of wandering around, but felt like I should come to the funeral. Felt important. So, but I call myself a treasurer, but
Gil, also, you're a con man. You pick up on the things that people say. And earlier, when speaking with the Wildbound, she mentioned that there was a young woman who didn't hide her magic very well. And you know, well and good, that magic is very illegal and very controlled by the Accord.
Well, I think we're going to get along great, and I trust you completely because we completely share all the same hobbies.
that's a solid reason.
But I think you'll maybe have another hobby that maybe isn't the same hobby that I'm interested in, but maybe is a hobby that other people are interested in, whether for the better or for the worse.
Lesbianism?
Yeah.
That's not a hobby, it's a lifestyle, alright?
God, I mean, sure, your brother told me he's got a weird glowing eye. Well, I don't know. Sure. I sometimes do magic every once in a while on the side. You know, I just like to pick up some stuff when I'm wandering around, finding other things and stuff, learning some different magic tricks, trying to keep it to myself, of course. Of course. But yeah. So, I have been practicing another hobby besides lesbianism.
That's not a hobby, that's a lifestyle.
Not the way I do it.
Oh, okay, so it's really just casual, right?
Very casual.
Drinking is also a hobby for me,
Oh.
not a lifestyle. Is your magic, your secret magic that nobody knows about? She doesn't do any magic, right, Cal?
Yeah, she does too.
No, she does no magic.
I understand how magic works. Somebody did also.
Okay.
Some people can't read subtext.
You're just really reinforcing the fact you can't read.
This is a safe space to talk about. If we're gonna get to know each other, and all I know is that she steals and just hides things, that's not very trusting, and I don't want to trust her. So yes, this is a safe space to start sharing these things.
Is the magic hot or cold or like punch in the face or like a little bit easy, breezy, beautiful?
Well, it
Cover
is-
girl?
Yeah, I do learn magic specifically to make my hair look good because it's important to me. You know, for my other
She's
hobbies.
always on the road. You
Yeah,
know?
for my other hobbies.
That's why I wear a hat.
There. But I do learn some punchier magic just because, you know, it is illegal. So just in case I need to protect myself.
So you punching with it?
Kinda, yeah.
Oh, okay. She punching with her magic.
You want to show us something?
Sure.
I would feel that this place would be a safe space to explore that.
100%.
Okay, yeah.
100%.
And I also do, like, yeah, one of my experience is like sleight of hand magic.
Well-
but if we're, yeah.
Let me ask you a question to answer that question before we jump into this. How paranoid is Cal?
Not.
Because like having spent time out in the Velavar Islands, that's not super Accord territory. You know, it's still a little bit of Wild Westy over there. But anytime that you would have spent in Velcathar, Velthassa, anything like the main sort of like strongholds of the Accord, you basically are always under scrutiny. So right now you're on Velcathar. You are, you know, maybe a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 kilometers away from the capital city. Granted, giant mountain range in between the two of you. Would he think this is a safe place?
Yeah. Knowing that, like, the rest of, like, the circles here.
Okay.
Then I guess I'll do a little bit of magic. I don't know. I don't know what kind of magic I'd be doing.
If it's an attack, you hit me.
Yeah, but you already kind of think I'm shady, so I don't really want to hit you.
You've got your prestidigitation.
Right. So then, obviously, as I just said, I do some magic to make my hair look good. Prestidigitation to make myself look better, I guess. More put together. Like I wasn't drinking from very strong alcohol and a little bit maybe soberer. Yeah, make myself look a little more put together.
What? Can you make my arm look like an arm?
What does your magic look like, actually, before we get to that? As you cast, like, does it have a color? Does it have a smell? Do you, like, how do you cast as far as, like, gestures, words?
I think if she's trying to be, like, do regular magic and not care if she gets caught, she's doing, like, full, like, hand movements, and it's maybe, like, a little bit green, just, like, around her fingers, but if she's trying to hide it, she's, like, just, like, I'm not doing anything.
So you would see Aldra make a couple of hand gestures that mean nothing to you, and then there's a little bit of green at her fingertips, and then starting from the roots of her hair going down. Like, it's just sort of like...
Frizz disappeared.
Yeah.
Eyes less bloodshot. Yeah, just a little more put together.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know if I could make your arm look like it's.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'll change it.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen my hand in 9 years.
Could I try and make his arm look normal? Like,
Yeah. I mean, I think that, you can change, like, an object's color or things like that. So I feel like you could make it look flesh-colored.
Yeah.
I think there would still be a little of that
Sure.
sort of, like,
Yeah.
kintsugi,
textures,
glowing
yeah.
gold that sort of comes through a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's the closest your arm has looked like your arm in a long time. My question for you is it something you just do? Do you touch his arm to do it? Is this...
I think if it's on another person, then she is like touching a little bit, but like very lightly.
It feels
Yeah.
warm. Like it feels like you're touching skin.
With the okay, cool.
Like the wood and stone are warm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I think she puts her hand on it to, make it look fleshy or flesh colored. Yeah.
Wow. Almost identical.
You wear long sleeves if we wanted to.
Oh,
Hide.
I'm not ashamed of it. I just haven't seen any skin over there since I was 16. I smell your skin, actually. Thank you, Gil.
You're welcome. See, the fact check on your talk. Truth is very important to me.
Just try and keep you honest.
Thank you, Alta.
Of course.
Do you know how that druid, I literally haven't spoken my accent this whole time.
That's fine.
Put you together like that?
To be honest, no. It's a bit of a blur.
You never asked after?
I just figured it was magic.
He wrote him a note. It could be.
No, I never asked him.
When you met the Ironleaf healer, they themselves had ironwood body parts.
Yeah.
And there would have been others around. A finger, a leg, things like that. This is something that you would have seen definitely all over in Belivar. So it's not uncommon to you anymore that he is sought out for that type of magic.
Okay. Yeah, from my loose understanding, he's magically binds it to your body. That's how it breathes with me and moves. Like I still feel this. It's a little bit more numb, but still feeling there. But I was in and out. I had maybe a cup of blood in my body. Not a lot left. I'm pretty sure I was unconscious for months. I mean, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but what about you? The daughter of Alara, granddaughter of Alara. What do you do?
I'm a herbalist. I travel around. That's how we met. I do the same work that my parents did. I don't really like going anywhere else. Where I'm from, it's really important to me. And sometimes I actually find myself probably putting myself out there a little too much, fighting against people who want to destroy my home.
Who wants to destroy your home?
Well, my home is the grove, the wild
Laura
battle.
went to protect. Wow.
So, the same people are still in power. They still want the same thing. So,
It's awfully hard.
yeah.
It's not far away from me. Actually, it would be. I wasn't too far when I was on the islands.
Yeah, it's on,
Belfast.
That's
yeah,
up here somewhere.
Yeah, so I was
You were over here.
yeah, well,
I suppose. Yeah.
The
It all
world is
wraps
not-
around. It is a globe after all.
Unless it's a flat earth.
Shh.
that's I'm far away. It's a globe and close.
It's a disc
Yeah.
world.
Sorry, what did you ask me?
What do you do? Just a little demonstration of your skills?
Like my talking skills? Like
Whatever
my...
you're best at.
What are you bringing to the table? That the four of us are going to save the world.
She can make us all look real nice.
Who can talk everybody to death?
I can talk them to death and to death.
I can...
Just in case.
I can't remember what I can. Oh yeah. Oh, I did forget.
Something you can read.
It's a new RPG that we're playing when I'm like, let me get the book because I need to remember too. Also, mechanically speaking, for anybody who's watching and interesting, Cal's ironwood is how we're doing clanks in this campaign frame. So he's part clank, so he is part ironwood. But there are full ironwoods out there.
I can turn myself into a animal
I don't believe it.
sometimes. I don't remember how.
You just mark a stress, and then you choose one of those tier 1 forms. So they all do different things. So you can literally become like any kind of animal, but they are all sort of broken up into thematic groups.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Where's the stress on this?
Stress is sort of top left underneath your hit points. You
I have it half, so it was not on the
Gotcha.
main page. I found it now. Would you like to see it?
Absolutely.
Do you have a specific animal type? Or will just anything do?
What kind of animal do I remind you of? Nice, bringing those questions in. Full circle.
You are a honey badger.
Oh, what?
You've never heard of a honey badger?
I don't think so.
I actually don't know what they look like, but
Are you going to turn into one?
I don't know what friggin' class there would be. I wish it would just list all of them. It's like etc.
Well, yeah, because I mean, like, so as a druid doing your beast shape form, you get a couple of different, types and everything else like that you can turn into. So I would say, is a tier 1. Let's see, let's go. Beast form options, tier 1. They would probably be, of all of those, probably a pack predator would be the stat type that you could do. But like you don't have to necessarily put them into any specific category, right? Like the visualization is flavor and interest. But each of the different things, like the household friend, they get different abilities than, say, the nimble grazer gets. One of them can leap and sneak and sprint, and the other one can climb and locate and protect. So household friend might work for a honey badger because they like to dig and they like to just fuck around and everything else like that. But honey badgers also don't give a shit about anybody else. So it could also be a pack predator.
Yeah.
So, like, that's sort of where it comes down to is you can mix and match. Like, you could be an ostrich and use the pack predator stat thing and just attack people with your feet or your beak or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a mix of, like, flavor versus mechanics.
Okay. Well, I guess I will turn into a honey badger. I'm gonna look up what they look like right now.
Badgers, they look sick.
Yeah, honey badgers.
They're cute.
They're like tiny bears.
Kind of like bears, but like with otter faces almost.
Otter
Kind of,
faces
yeah.
and skunky stripes.
Also,
Yeah.
they have claws like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good
This
diggers.
is a baby honey. Oh, my screen
Oh,
is
we
so
got so many
small.
badgers
But
on our farm.
anyway,
Scary.
that's what I'm turning into.
Oh, yeah.
What does it look like when Ayla transforms? Is it like a Sailor Moon magic girl transformation, or is it like werewolfy where like your body literally contorts and changes? Like, what does her magic look like as she shifts into her beast form?
I think it would just kind of pick up some of the earth, like the dirt kind of like swirls around my feet, like leaves, whatever. And it's just kind of like wind kind of going around me. And then I just kind of have like...
It's the elements whipping up around your body, and then like when it calms down, you are whatever it was.
Yeah.
So you all sort of like pull away as this wind whips up, and the fire in the middle of your gathering sort of like flares up for a second, and there's like dirt and stuff that's whipping your, and then like as it calms down, where Ayla was is now just this honey badger.
Holy shit.
Now, do you think that's her, or did the lights kind of blind us from her when she's behind a tree somewhere or something?
You can speak in your animal form.
What?
It's me.
Oh, shit! Well,
That is weird.
that's very cool. That is very cool.
So that's kind of what I do.
Wow. Can you turn into things that are animals?
You would know that your grandmother can turn into very majestic creatures, but she's quite a bit older and stronger than you are.
Yeah.
All beasts and monsters and things like that. You can't turn into a table, but
Yeah. Not like inanimate objects. And I definitely can't. But my lovely grandmother can turn into some of the most outstanding creatures.
That sounds pretty fucking cool. That's for sure.
It is.
I can't turn into any animals.
Well, I
Tell
think
me what you can do then, Gil.
Me?
Yeah, pass him the talking stick.
Well, I can do a couple things.
not pronounce yours.
I could do something that everybody notices, or I could do things that only one person notices. So I'll figure that. Depends if everyone wants to see it, or if one person wants to see it, and everyone just has to believe what happened.
Which one's cooler?
Wait, what?
Oh, whatever. Let me think. Okay, 1 second. And I'll just whisper to Cal. I'm just gonna go ask him to take some like a pot and a pan that's like over by the cooking fire, and I want to tell him to start banging them together, right behind Aldra, after I start talking to her.
Okay.
Okay.
Am I sneaky?
You don't have to. No.
Okay, yeah.
Like the moment you stand up, so I'm just gonna use like my enrapture.
Nice.
So I will.
So go ahead.
Make
Go
a spellcasting
Yeah,
roll.
make a spellcast roll,
12 with hope.
which I believe is it's also adds your finesse for you. I think
Yeah,
that's your
so
spellcasting
14,
stat.
Yeah, this is my spellcasting stat.
Okay. That's an interesting thing. I don't know how it would PvP. I guess it would just be against your evasion. So what's your evasion? Unless it says. Does it say it's against anything particular? No, it's just a success. So yeah, we'll call it against your evasion because usually it would be against a creature's difficulty.
Yeah.
My evasion's 11.
So it happens.
Yep.
So I'm just.
And it's a hope, so mark a hope.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so I'm just gonna start like. Alright, so there was this one time, you see, me and my boy Shoebox, we were down by the river, and he said that there was trout in the river, and I said, there's no fucking way there's any trout in this river. It's full of all sorts of things. People are pissing, they're pooing, they're doing all sorts of things in the river. Trout don't like those sort of things. There's no trout in the river. And he says, I'll show you. So he tosses his net in the river and hoists it back in. You would not believe this trout that comes out of it. It's got 3 eyes, okay? But you know the trout's eyes are normally on the side. This one, all 3 eyes are just right in the middle. 1, 2, 3, like a little tree. And they all look at us, all right? They're looking at us at the same time. So it's like me and my boy Shoebox. So there's 1 on Shoebox and 2 on me. And as these eyes are looking, this trout starts singing to us about how his dead mum is cramping his style by not letting him fertilize the eggs that are in the trash river. She says that he's got to go to another river, but it's a trash river that he says got the best ladies in it, alright?
And so, that's basically the end of the story. But one
What
thing that
you'll notice is just all of a sudden, as soon as I stop talking, there's just loud banging
Yeah.
behind
So
you.
as he's speaking, like your vision tunnels and everything go, like you start hearing the clangs behind, but like as he's talking, it's just gone. And this is
Tunnel vision.
the most interesting story you've ever heard in your entire life until he stops speaking, and then it's just like clang, 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 clang.
Yeah, I think as soon as he stops speaking, she's just like, "Ah!" Okay, well, that's a cool trout, I guess.
basically, that trout saved my life.
I can see how that trout story gets you out of some sticky situations.
Sometimes the best stuff is where the trash is.
Value. I've been there. I get you.
Alright, that's good shit.
Ow.
Alright, come on then.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I saw you pick something up, so you better do something else. I'm just gonna look. There's like a stump close by that nobody's like sitting on.
Not inside the standing stone. It's been cleared in here, but you could go and find out. There'd be like some logs left over from the pyre and stuff like that have.
Are there any within close range?
Sure.
Okay. I'm just gonna start.
Because you dragged some over for
to
seats
sit
and
up.
stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So
Okay, so then I will just start, I guess, putting on a show with my swordsmanship abilities, and then I'll go make an attack, and then my hand, the axe will like blink out of my hand, and then it'll appear in the log that's, I don't know, 20 feet away, and then
Start throwing apples at you.
then I'll just go like this, and it's back in my hand, and then I'll start slicing the apples.
Like the worm.
Huh?
Like the worm.
Yeah, it's kind of like there. Yeah.
Cut them into eighths.
are you using spirit weapon?
Yeah.
Go ahead and mark distress. Does it when your axe moves around, is there light or anything, or is it just blink in and out of existence?
It's got a bit of a glow, like that divine glow. It's kind of the same as in my wooden stone arm, and it kind of hums, something like that. Okay, so then I'm spinning that around, and then I was like, I'll look away if you get squeamish. And then I'm just gonna like spin. Well, I'll put my axe away, and then I'll just grab my little dagger, and I'll just like slice my leg.
Oh no, why is it gone and done that?
And then I'm just gonna heal it on the spot.
Oh, I don't think he actually cut himself. Do a bigger one.
Goodness, dude. I'm more of like your best friend on a battlefield. I'm here to support.
Spend your 2 hope to do your mending touch. I know we're just showing off, but I also want to get us used to the game
yeah,
mechanics.
yeah,
How does your axe do that?
Well, it's divine, love. It's from Ishua.
He's just really athletic.
I don't actually know how it works, but I know that it does.
I hate when they don't come with instructions.
And it just kind of moves with my thoughts.
How long can it stay out of your hand and do something?
Well, I mean, it's not dancing around. It's like I can attack things. I can make it go somewhere.
Oh.
I can make it. Actually, I don't think it does say how long it stays away. I think it says.
It can fly from your hand to attack an adversary within close range, and so close range is like within 15 feet or 10 to 30 feet away. So it's like very close is close, like 5-10 feet. Then there's 15 to 30 feet, and then it goes on from there. But yeah, you could literally like throw it at something far away, and then just it returns back to your hand.
Yeah.
So it gives you ranged attack with a melee weapon.
And I can add a mark of stress, so I could throw it at an attack, mark of stress to
Bounce it to somebody else.
and
Yeah.
then bring it back.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna mark 2 stresses, and I'm gonna say I did that with 2.
Yeah.
logs.
2 logs. Just.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was pretty fun.
Yeah. That is pretty fun. Yeah, I will admit, it's pretty fun.
Wait, I got one more thing too.
Alright.
And I'm gonna grab the note.
Oh my god, he's gonna read. Oh my god, he's gonna read.
Forgive me if this reaches you too late.
That's not fair. You memorized it.
You already know what it says.
He has an excellent auditory memory.
Hey, what?
Can't read.
Just starts writing things down. Read this.
If you do hand me something, I'll pretend to struggle and then I will
Like,
actually just read it.
I'm like, I think of something right now. I'm like, yeah, this is just a whole bunch of people.
Read names.
Read names.
There's a big part of me that wants me to make him roll a knowledge roll for this, but that's just so mean.
I have a +1 to knowledge.
You're gonna get like a 2 with fear.
Oh no, I just have a 0. It's just a flat stat.
So you're not bad at it.
Yeah.
You're just
I can
average
still
at it.
read. I'm just not
Grade 2
studying.
level.
You're like, your handwriting's shit. Sure, sure.
The Rosa. The Alex Strauza. His actions led to all of this? Question mark. Worth looking into? Question mark. I mean, profit? Question mark.
I got a lot of questions, okay?
Why can't you guys pronounce your W's? That's my question.
Oh, let's not have
I
any
believe.
judgment about where people grew up now, alright? Not everyone has the same language.
God, Alan, not everyone goes to school.
It's awfully weird. I can say W. I
Yeah.
say weird.
Weird. I can say that too. I can also say
What?
what? What?
Like it's tricky when I want some water, but
What? That's-
Because that's where things go down. Well, hey, before we all go there, because I'm starting to feel a little bit tired.
I'm tipsy.
Does anyone? I feel like it would be pertinent before we head out if we just go around and we say one thing that we're nervous for, potentially fearful for, and one thing we're excited for, or like hopeful for. See, for me, I'm hopeful that we run into some powerful people and we can take all their things and get really rich. And the thing that I'm fearful for is the fact that there's going to be no bathrooms on the way down. Alright, Cal, it's your turn.
the thing I'm hopeful for is to live up to this reputation. Or this prophecy, I suppose. And make a name for ourselves. Doing good in this world.
I like that.
And the thing I'm afraid of is losing you again.
Don't worry about that, brother. I'm like lice, you know. I'll get a special shampoo to get rid of me.
What happened once and I don't want to do it again.
It's true, that shampoo is expensive.
You know, I wasn't nervous about the no bathrooms, but then you said it, and now I thought about it. That's worth being nervous about.
It's always something that's not in your mind until it is, and
You
then
know,
it's
you're
all
not
you can
thinking
think
about it, and then all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, there's no washrooms here.
Exactly.
It sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
I would say I'm excited for, I don't know, just the journey ahead, getting to know you all. And also, I guess I'm a little bit nervous about trying to be careful with my magic, as we, it is illegal, so hush hush, all that fun stuff.
I'll be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, it'll be fine.
it'll be fine. I'm more worried about the bathrooms now.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, thank you.
I should have gone last.
Shut up.
I should have saved you a couple seconds. What about you, Puddles?
I am hopeful and excited just to do something, to feel like I'm doing actual work. I'm nervous about dying, not because I'm afraid to die, but because my grandma was so... I've never seen her the way she was today. And I don't want to be the one to cause her that again. So.
That is noble.
With that, you all settle in for a night's rest. You can clear your stress if you like. We'll do a proper long rest or whatever next time, just to walk through those mechanics. But I think that's a great place to end for tonight. So, thank you all for watching. We are Archives of Elsewhere. Tyler, Ben, Zoe, Haven, and I guess me, Dave. Thanks for joining us on this Daggerheart journey. We're gonna see where it takes us. Thanks for dealing with our stumbles, our tech issues, and our learning the game. We appreciate it. Have a good night, and learn to read.
You're out now,
Sorry.
Welcome to our after show that we don't have a name for yet, or we don't even know if we're going to do anything with this, but we might, because one day we may have a Patreon or whatever.
Archives of afterwards.
There we go. It's the Archives of Afterwards. So, great first game, everyone. Aside from our technical issues at the start, how's everybody feeling so far?
We need a fan in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely need a fan. I will figure out how to crack that window the next time, because having a computer in here makes a very big difference.
Yeah.
I have a tall, like one of those skinny fans if you want. It's also quiet, so.
Quiet will be important, given that we have
Sounds good.
microphones.
Sounds good, yeah.
So we can figure that out.
She's not terribly powerful, but she will
Yeah.
circulate.
I'm pretty sure I can crack that window too, which will also help. But
Yeah.
we just want to be careful with noise and everything else like that. But all in all, good first stream. We got all 3 cameras working. How did everybody feel about diving into a new system, rolling 2d12s instead of d20s? And
I mean, for me, I like it. I love the idea of the fear and hope. I think it's a lot of fun. It's going to add a lot of dynamic as we keep going.
Yeah,
And the roleplay felt comfortable.
totally.
Yeah.
I think something to keep in mind too is for your guys' classes, there's certain abilities and things that you can do that are per session.
Yeah.
So keep those in mind as well. Like for you have your long rest dice roll choices that you can make. You've got your hope dice. Like there's also those types of things. So when we start up next game, I think just for the first couple of sessions, because Daggerheart is so new, like I'm gonna be a little bit of like, let's just explain the mechanics to the audience and things like that, because other people aren't gonna really have any idea what's going on either. But I want you guys to use your abilities as much as possible to get comfortable with using your abilities. So spend hope on your experiences and do things like that. We're going to do some overland travel, maybe some combat next session, just to sort of break that ice and go from there.
Because that's going to be, I think, really tricky. Not tricky, just new.
Yeah, totally. I mean, having no initiative is definitely going to be a new experience for all of us at the table. But I'm stoked for it.
Me too.
The thing I'm excited about is like the ability to like combo actions, right?
Oh yeah.
Like I want to do this, but I'm gonna need you to like distract them at the same time, and sort of be able to like kind of work through it. Like that.
Totally, and like the tag team actions as well, to be able to like combine your damage, because how it all works in this is the thresholds, just like you guys have, and if you can get over that high threshold, it's so much easier to do with the tag team and everything else. So it's like, do I spend the hope now, or do I try to wait for it to do these other things? Like it's that constant mechanic, and those things are meant to be spent, right? Like I didn't spend any fear tonight just because it's an intro session and I don't want to be like, haha, rocks fall, you all die. But
you can't read.
Yeah. But like as we go that's it, I'm spending it. As we go through like overland travel, there's ways that I can spend fear to affect the environment around you. So I can just be like, there's a storm, like things like that make those types of things harder. And also we're going to get into group roles next game, and how group roles work in Daggerheart is you choose a leader who's ever going to lead the group role. Usually it's the person who's the best at whatever the thing is. Everybody else makes the same roll, and you're trying to hit the DC. So let's say you guys are trying to sneak past a bear. You would say, okay, Gil's probably got the best finesse, so he's going to lead it. I'm going to set the DC at a 13. Each of you would make a finesse roll. If you get above a 13, Gil gets a +1. If you get below a 13, Gil gets a -1. And so it increases or decreases his chance of success.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting playing with these types of mechanics. I'm probably gonna be pretty mechanic heavy for the first few games, just to get us all really comfortable with it.
Yeah, because I have no idea what the hell's going on.
Yeah. But it's like, read through your character sheets. Demiplane's super great just for being able to click on things and see the rules and everything else like that. And like burn your resources. Like when you're traveling, like you could use a beast form to scout or do things like that to be unseen as you're moving through the mountains and everything else like that. And you have magic and all of these different types of things to just lean into.
And we can swap out our stuff much more fluidly than like traditional spell books, right?
Yeah, I mean, essentially how it works is at any point in time you can have 5 abilities in play, and then you have a vault. So everything else is in your vault, and you can spend stress to bring things out of your vault. Some things cost no stress to swap out. But then other things might, like, I'm gonna, like, you took the wrong spells today for an encounter, you're like, I'm gonna spend the 2 stress, I'm gonna switch my spells out or whatever and do that, which is pretty great.
Otherwise, it's long rest, right?
Otherwise, it's a long rest. Yeah, on long rest, you can do it for free. You can swap anything out on a long rest for free.
Do we have those Seaborn cards? I mean, I can just do it on my app, but it's going to be a better visual.
Yeah. If anybody's missing a card and they want a card, I can definitely find it.
The only one that I don't have is that
The
one.
spell that,
Yeah, I can just use the app for that one.
Seaborn.
Just because that one, I can use my tokens.
Yeah, you get the fear tokens and things like that. So there's a Seaborn.
Right now it's only
There's 2 of each of the communities. If anybody wants theirs, you're Slyborn? There's a Slyborn if you want it. You're Wanderborn.
Yep.
There's a Wanderborn. Keep an eye on it. Zoe, you were Wildborn.
Yeah.
Okay. Next Wildborn for you. But yeah, I would definitely say, like, this game is meant to be played with tokens and cards and all the rest of those types of things. And Demiplane makes it a little bit easier, but, like, I find, having the tactile stuff is going to be super helpful. And look through your character sheets as well and figure out aesthetically how everything looks. Like, I'm going to ask you guys if you don't volunteer the information, but, like, it's a really great way to have character flavor. Is like, what does your magic look like? What does this specific spell look like? Because all of that is flavor, and flavor is free. Like, you have Flame Strike. It doesn't have to be fire.
Yeah.
It could be anything, that does the same mechanical effect, because Daggerheart doesn't have fire damage or cold damage or whatever. It's just magic damage or physical damage.
Right.
So you could say, it's like, oh, my wild flame for my Book of Typhar is actually a lightning storm or whatever. Like, it can be anything. Lean into that type of stuff and really make your characters your own, because this system is built for that, which I think is great. Mm-hmm. Like, it's dumbed down in mechanics enough to make that type of flavor so interesting.
It makes everything really unique.
Yeah, and that's, like, I think that's one of my favorite things about it, is your characters really become your characters. And also keep in mind too, when we hit level 2 at some point in time in the far future, because there's only 10 levels, so we're not going to be leveling terribly quick. But when you hit level 2, you guys immediately go into tier 2 play. And every time you go up a tier, you can add new experiences. So as you're playing your characters, think about the types of things that they're constantly doing or learning or whatever, because you will eventually be able to add a new experience for that. So that's something that is, like, good to keep in the back of your mind or whatever. So when you get to the level up, you're not like, oh, fuck, I don't know what to do. Like we all did in session 0, because we've never dealt with experiences before. But I liked your hope and fear talk at the end. Something that Abby and I always do is we talk about roses and thorns, things you liked, things that felt like bad. And this doesn't have to be like a negative, but do you guys have any roses and thorns from this session? I'll go first because I put myself on the spot. I think my rose was getting myself to cry as your grandmother.
Yes.
Did not see that coming. Apparently I could go to Hollywood. But yeah, I think that was good. I definitely think my thorn is just like the uncomfortableness of like a new session and new lore and like forgetting my own lore because I'm so stressed out about being on camera. I'm like, I have forgotten all of the Circle of Six's names, and I'm like going through my notes. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy's name? Oh, it's Jareth Tell. Okay, yeah. But that was definitely my thorn for the session. Anybody else?
I think both my rose and thorn is that I was like, since I'm new, because I've never played D&D at all.
You did fantastic, by the way.
Thanks.
You did.
Appreciate it. Is that it was a little bit like, well, since nobody else knows what they're doing, it's a little bit more comfortable. Since it's new to everyone, then I'm like, nice. Now nobody knows what they're doing, so it's a little easier. But I was also like, what the fuck am I doing?
I was very impressed with your ability to just, like, you just put yourself out there and jumped in, which is great, because that's a very scary thing to do.
You were the first one to talk.
Yeah.
When we,
I felt pretty good about it, and then I talked to the big scary dragon guy, and I was like, never mind. How do you get yourself out of a situation?
My entire character motivation for Jareth Tell, by the way, Roy Kent from Ted Lasso.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He very specifically like reminds me of my grandfather. I'm like, I think he's nice. He's very stoic, so he scares the shit out of me, and he's got huge meat mitts.
Yeah.
I think my rose was just finally bringing Gilligan to life, because for me he's like the type of character that has like, I've got so many ideas for him, but until I actually got to like pull him out, it was tough to decide on what was what. Now I've got like a better feel for him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I had a thorn. I had a great time tonight. I thought it was amazing. Yeah. I feel like
Such a cop out.
if anything, my
life is
thorn
great.
is myself, that I feel like I was too much of a little brother to Cal. I was trying to lean into that super hard, just to be like the annoying little brother, but I was definitely having these like, I pushed it too far.
From my side, I definitely did not feel that. Like, I thought it was a fun dynamic. Definitely, I felt like you were pissing Tyler off more than you were pissing Cal off.
Yeah. I have a younger brother. I know what it's like. No, for that though, Cal was more like reserved for just like the space we were in. But that's like even after like when I left talking to the Shield, I was like, oh yeah, he's smiling, he's laughing, he's like he's giddy. It's like, that's totally keep going, because if Cal gets pissed off, or if I get pissed off, then I'll get Cal to punch Gil or something. I don't know. We'll just start wrestling. I don't know.
Use my evasion to make sure I don't get it.
But no, like that's exactly what I've lived my life doing. So I know. Yeah, I'm very comfortable. So. Yeah, no, I liked it. My Rose I think actually my Rose and Thorn were role playing. Rose, in the sense that like we all did just jump in.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't even really say it was the Thorn, but since it was the first, like it definitely was choppy.
Oh, it was 100%
But it's like
clunky.
we're all like it's our first session with these characters. We're trying to figure it out. We're all trying to remember names. Like I forgot my fucking mother's name. So like that was I guess the low light, but it's not even low. It's still
Totally.
a high.
Totally. Yeah, no, I think you guys all did really great. I liked the let's sit around the fire and get to know each other a bit. And there's going to be more time for that as we're like trekking through wilderness for a couple of sessions and things like that. Just like it takes a little while to get comfortable in the skin of a new character, but then also in the world and like remembering all this shit. And
I think that was also kind of nice for me, is I was like, I don't know anyone, so I don't have to remember anyone's names.
Yeah,
you can relearn it.
Writing this person's name down.
Yeah.
What was your name?
everybody's just staring at Zoe.
Dang it.
This is why you never go last.
I can stall for you.
He's got a story about a
My
trout.
My other rose was that trout story I made up.
I thought that was very slick, because I'm like, what is a syndicate rogue going to do to show his powers?
I had no idea what was going on the
I
whole
just kept going, and I was so impressed with the story.
I was set up like you're talking to me, but you're not.
I wanted to interject and talk about the tunnel vision and everything else like that. I'm like, I can't interject and talk about the mechanics of this until it's over. We just gotta let it
You
ride.
did it yourself, already.
What was the rapture in real life?
Like I broke contact once to look at you, and I was like, I am so confused right now. Like I am like into it. Like, no, that was good. My thorn is how much Gil talks.
That's fair.
I mean, we definitely have the party face, the party tank. We've got a wizard, and then we've got the sneaky magical druid. Like, I think it's a really good blend of characters that you guys have put together. There's a lot of like, we've got knowledge, we've got presence, we've got finesse, we've got strength, and what's your other main stat? It's like mostly big strong boy. Instinct?
I think we both
Oh,
have
good.
these.
I have 2 to strength, 1 to presence, 1 to instinct.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna be really interesting, like as we like grow and move into like social encounters versus combat encounters versus all of these different types of things. I think the other thing that I have to get used to, like as a GM, was Daggerheart rolls fucking matter. So you don't you just assume your characters are good at shit unless there's consequences that can happen. Because like there's so many times where I'm like, oh yeah, I want you to roll a perception. I want you to roll, but it's like no, in this system, it's like less rolling because otherwise I gain a million fear or you guys gain a million hope, and it just sort of throws the economy off. And so it's that sort of thing of like only ask for a roll when it has impact on the narrative. Like if Gil was going to climb up that rock and you failed with fear, like not only would that have been hilarious, but it would have been devastating for Gil. Like, I probably would have had you mark as stress because you're like, here's this member of the circle that you look up to.
And I'm supposed to be good at this sort of thing. And he was very embarrassed, for sure.
Yeah, so it's like those types of things where it's like I have to learn to ask for less rolls, which is hard because D&D is just like, roll this, roll whatever.
Roll religion.
Yeah, so.
That's why like I wasn't sure if I should roll insight.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
But I genuinely was confused. Like I thought you guys were lying.
That was like low.
So just roll with it. Like I would say, lean into the narrative. If you think that she's lying, roll with the lie rather than trying to mechanically determine whether it's not a lie. Like that's a lot of like the Daggerheart thing is like follow the narrative. And so if the narrative is like I think you're lying, don't try to break that with a dice roll.
Tell the story that I'm thinking.
Do you actually know him? Like I'm starting to think because then that could have led into oh yeah, she fell in a puddle and that's why I call her Puddles and all the rest of this, like that sort of thing. It just opens up doors. And it's like you didn't do a bad thing. Like it's just like it's one of those things where we're just learning the mechanics of it.
I am also happy to have to slide that in there once. There was like no other time where it felt like relevant, but I was like, this is something that needs to happen because like that's our like one link.
Yeah, I mean like realistically, I hope nobody asks you guys about that for like a couple of sessions so that the audience is also confused by it a little bit unless they watch this if we ever put it up on the internet. But like it's that sort of thing. It's like I love secrets and I love small character interactions and things like that. Like one of the things I'd love to start the next game with is as we like come out of that long rest is do any of you have nighttime conversations with one another? Because you have just been tasked with saving the world by somebody who failed to save the world. Like how is that weighing on you? And maybe it doesn't come up tonight. Maybe it comes up on the journey or whatever, but like think about how your character is reacting to this. Obviously, in the sense of a TTRPG, it's like, yes, of course, we're going to accept the plot hook and we're going to go along. But also, how does your character feel about that? Because that can be great campfire talk, or like as you're walking through the day, it's like, oh, I fall back and I talk with Aldra about this or whatever, and that sort of thing.
Those are sweet roleplay moments. I really love those ones.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Sweet.
You still need to give us your rose.
I was your thorn.
Good memory. Good memory.
No, okay. The rose was just like actually getting into it and feeling it out. My actual thorn is myself because like it's in my head so much.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be this confident person. I couldn't even remember anything and
That's right. It's
hard enough.
It's session 1, man. Like I was panicking this entire time. Like I'm supposed to be running the game, and I'm like, I don't remember what that is.
Honestly, I blame you because it was the introductions that really just flustered me. I was sweating. I was literally dripping, and like I couldn't look at the camera, and I was just done for after that.
I haven't played D&D and tabletop for a long time, and tonight my watch has told me multiple times, hey, your heart rate is 120. You're sitting down. Are you okay? Like,
I just hate
I gotta check my ring.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
it's
God.
just.
I was also like I was sweaty. I was forgetting things. So don't beat yourself up.
I feel like next session is going to be
so much easier.
better.
Number one, we're not going to have all of the like building and tech frustrations beforehand, and then it'll just be like it's just going to be the 4 of you. There's no other NPCs. There's no other. I mean, maybe you have a conversation with your grandmother as you're leaving, or like that type of thing. But like a lot of the next couple of sessions is just gonna be the party.
Just dive in.
Yeah, because I like it's so hard to get into the head and heart of a new character. And so I'm just like, let's just jump off the deep end and just be like, okay, the only role play that's going to happen in the next couple of sessions is going to be the four of you, aside from interacting with the environment.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say like with that then like I love that so much, but I hope that there is some combat because I think that's gonna be a lot.
100% I'm putting combat into the next
Okay.
session, just from a mechanic standpoint.
Yeah.
Just because
That and like
yeah.
it'll be like I don't like fully trust that we have two thieves. I trust him because he's my brother, but to see like how they're operating, it's like, oh shit, maybe we do have a chance. Because right now she changed her hair and made my arm look different.
Yeah.
Well, we're not changing the world.
Well, I mean,
I can make my sword move around.
yeah, it's like, okay, you think she's an illusionist. You think he's a guy that hits things. He can talk a lot. Like,
exactly.
There's
it's gonna help solidify who we are to each other.
Yeah, it's hard to be the heroes when you're just like, this is what we've got.
Yeah.
This is all we have. Fuck.
It's like to have those moments of like, oh, that's not the only thing that they do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if we're just RPing for like 5 sessions, obviously we're just going to use our RP spells.
Yeah.
Combat.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and something to keep in mind too is we may go into some theater of the mind combat in this game because with fear stuff happening,
Yeah, you can just call
I could just be like ambush, like there's nothing else that would make sense in this situation, so we're just gonna do an ad hoc, like maybe I just throw a quick map up and like we just have a grid and like like thankfully I've got hundreds of just digital maps, so it won't be too hard, but like there won't be any terrain on it or anything else. It'll just be like we're just gonna put some minis down. But
also minis will be ready shortly, probably Sunday at the latest. Okay. So I don't know what you guys want to do. If you want to have them painted for next session, then you'll figure out some way to come get them, or they can just be gray next session, and then you can take them home and paint them for the one after that.
yeah, not a big deal.
Sounds good.
Cool.
What was our schedule? Should I end this?
I mean, I would just work. Yeah, we could probably
we
stop
can
it
clip it
now.
whenever.
Yeah, but we can clip it whenever. I just kept the recording running, but the stream is off. Yeah.
What are we? Are we still gonna do 3 on?
3 on, 1 off. But like, I think the 1 off can be random. It doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily have to be the same one. Because like Abby and I are thinking about being away on the 21st next month.
Which works perfect for me because that's when I start school back up.
Okay.
So I'm gonna
I think that's when you were gone as well, right?
21st to the 25th.
Yeah, perfect. So
That's
we'll just take the 21st
that
off.
is
So
a 3 and then 1 off.
So we're playing
Yeah.
3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Oh,
Great.
fuck yeah, that's so perfect
Hell
to
yeah.
start too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so next week,
Medieval
I'll
times.
upload the video as well. So if there's anything that you want to clip for socials or whatever.
Apparently,
Alex said that she was grabbing some like Twitch clips.
Oh,
yeah,
amazing.
Nice.
So we'll see what those
Thanks,
look like.
Alex.
but
Yeah, that's great.
She wants to be involved. Like she wishes she could play, but baby life doesn't
Yeah.
allow for that.
Well, like I said, we could always get her in for a guest spot at some point in time or whatever. But if she, like anybody who wants to help out on this,
Yeah, so
Like-
how she wants to contribute is she's gonna try and get Twitch clips when we're live, and then she just wants Instagram to our socials or access to our socials.
Yeah.
She said that she'll happily post
Huge.
things on Insta and stuff.
huge. Yeah, that's amazing. Because I mean, Critical Role has literally a daring impressive said that they're going to be paying attention to people who are putting stuff out there, and they'll try to platform folks. So
oh my god, that's
I think
Yeah.
it's like we hit TikTok, we hit Instagram, we hit Twitter.
yeah. Also, I'll give you I'll put it in our group chat. The Fantasy Plus app that I'm using for music because they're brand new. So that's the reason why I chose them, because they're looking for sponsors and things they're looking to sponsor people and stuff like that. I also signed up for a beta for a guy who's building a digital DM screen for Daggerheart, and said that once it's out, we can shout it out on the stream, that sort of thing. So it's like I'm thinking in that way as well of like, are there tools or like crossovers that we can have with different things? So if anything comes up, like
we should. Well, do you just want like the login info just in our Discord?
I'll just put it. We can add Alex to that, and then we can just put everything in there.
Yeah, like do a private channel just called like logins.
Yeah.
Yeah.